Hello students, so we are gonna do some problems on our atomic structures. These problems are very important for your NEET. So let's see the first problem, that is an element with mass number 81, okay, contains 31.7% more neutrons as compared to the protons. Okay, so find the symbol of the atom. So let us assume that number of protons is 10. Let's What will be the number of neutrons? So here they already say that is 31.7% more. That we will write n plus 31.7 by 100 into n. That means 1.317 n. So according to the formula of mass number, what we can write, that proton number plus neutron number equal to our mass number, that is 81. So what will be the value of n if we solve it? That will be 35. Now here this is the number of protons or our Z. So which atom has Z35? That is our Br or bromine. So the symbol of the atom will be like this. Okay, so this is our answer. So let's see the next question. That is, so for the next question, here we can see that they said electromagnetic radiation of wavelength 242 nanometer is just sufficient to oxidize the sodium atom. So what is the ionization energy of the sodium atom? Okay, so what they have given here, that is wavelength, and they asked you the energy. So from Planck's equation we know E equal to h mu, right? So here we can write it like this, that is hc by lambda. So if we just put their values here, that is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 into C has value 3 into 10 to the power 8. Lambda's value they have given you, that is 242 into 10 to the power minus 19, because we are writing it in meter. Okay, so it will be 8.214 if we calculate it into 10 to the power minus 19 joule per atom, right? So in question number 3, they said that a certain metal when irradiated with light mu equal to 3.2 into 10 to the power 16 hertz emits photoelectron when the same metal is irradiated by light, that is mu equal to 2.0 into 10 to the power 16 hertz. Then the mu naught of the metal, what will be that? But their Ke of the previous one is half of the second one. So according to this, what we can write, that is Ke2 into equal to 2 into Ke1, because that is what they have said in this question condition. From there we can conclude our answer. So what will be it? We know from Einstein's photoelectric equation, that is h into mu1 minus mu. Here mu2 is our frequency in case 2, mu1 is frequency in case 1. So let's see that our h will be cut, and what will be remaining, that will be mu naught equal to, so 2 mu1 minus mu2, so that is our 2 into 16 minus 3.2 into 10 to the power 16, that will be 8 into 10 to the power 15 hertz, right? So it's done. Now let's see for the next question. What will be that? That is the energy distance between ground state is 3 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So what will be the wavelength required for this transition? Okay, so let's see that. So we know the formula, that is hc by del E, because we just have solved the equation previously. So if we just put their values here, what we will get, that is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34, right, into 3 into 10 to the power 8 by the value of energy, that is 3 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So what will be the answer here if we calculate? That is 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. So here is our fourth question is done. Let's see the fifth question. That is the third line of the Balmer series of emission spectrum is minus m of the hydrogen atom is due to the transition from which to which Bohr orbit. Now to answer this question, I'm going to tell you a trick. That is, they told three things here. That is, it's Balmer series. Next, it is third line spectral series. Okay, and it's of hydrogen atom. Now we know from where to where Balmer series starts. That is n1 equal to 2 and n2 can be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, anything. So what they have said here, we're going to see that is from n1 to 2, that will be certain, right? But from where it has gone to third line, okay, that is the emission spectrum will be minus m. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, right? We will just deduct it from here. So that is fifth Bohr orbit, right? We have got it from here because they have said that is third line. So fifth Bohr orbit to our second Bohr orbit, because Balmer series starts from 2. Okay, so let's see the sixth question. So here they have told you that when uncertainty principle is applied on a object of mass of 1 milligram, then the uncertainty value from the velocity and position will be what? So here we will see one thing, that is del x into m del v greater than or equal to h by 4 pi, that is we all know. But what we will do here, we will assume that it is equal, right? H by 4 pi. We have also seen that it is h by 4 pi. So what we are going to do here, we are just place this mass here, that is m4 pi. So what we are going to see here, that is this value, that is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 and n into 4 into 3.14, that value comes 5.27 into 10 to the power minus 35. We have to remember it. Now any mass can be given, so these are the constants. We have just put the value after calculation. So they have said 1 milligram, right? So 1 milligram means how many grams? That is 10 to the power minus 3 grams. So it will be 5.27 into 10 to the power minus 32. That will be the answer. So let's see the seventh question. Now they said that what is the lowest value of n that allows the g orbital to exist. Now this is what I can say, that this is a objective type of question. Okay, so you have to remember this. Okay, so what will be its answer? That will be 5. So let's see the next question. It is question number 8. In question number 8, we can see that they given us two orbitals and told us which subshell will be more stable and why. So if we see the energy distribution, let's see first for the y. That is, we know the energy can be distributed only in singly occupied orbitals, because you can see that here it will be 0 plus up minus up, here it will be also 0 plus up minus up. So here energy distribution is here in 3 subshells, but here you can see that they are all singly occupied, so energy distribution will be like this. So according to energy distribution, this x is more stable. So what will be the answer? That is x greater than y, because energy distribution in x is more than the y, so x is more stable than y. So let's see the question number 9. In question number 9, they have given you 4 values, and now they have told you which will be the increasing order of the electron filling. So according to above, we know their n plus l rule, that is its lower value will be filled first. So for the first case, if we do its n plus l, so it will be 4 plus 1 equal to 5. For second case, it will be 4 plus 0, that will be 4. In third case, that is 3 plus 2, that will be 5. And for fourth case, it will be 3 plus 1, that is 4. So we can see that they have the same value for n plus l in two cases. So we know when n plus l value comes same, so electron goes to lower value of n, right? So let's see it here, which have, so here 1 and 3 has same number of n plus l. So but we can see that here 3 has one number than 1 in case of n, so it will be 3 greater than 1 in case of electron filling. Now we will see that these 2 and 4 has also same n plus l value, but you can see that here 4 has less value than 2 in case of n, so it will be also 4 greater than 2 in case of our electron filling. But if we write it in order of the whole, so it will be like this, because the 4 is n plus l value is lesser than 5 plus 5, so we will write like this, that is 4 greater than 2 greater than 3 greater than 1, that will be the order of electron filling, right? So this question is also done. So let's see the question number 10. In question number 10, what they have told you, that how many electrons of an atom having the following quantum number. So let's see. Here you can see it has s equal to minus of that means whatever the orbital will be, it will be half filled. Okay. So if n equal to 4, we know L's value can be anything from 1 to 0, 1 to n minus 1. So here we will write it 0, 1, 2, 3, right? It can be greater than 3 because it is always n minus 1, that is last value. So for s, it will be 1 electron. For p, it will be 1, 2, 3. For d, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And for f, it will be 7. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So we'll just add them. That is total number of electrons will be 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. So until the value will come, that is our 16, right? So let's see the question number 11. So here they said that the splitting of spectral lines under the influence of magnetic and electric field is called, so it is also an objective type question. In case of it is the influence in the magnetic field, okay, it is called our Zeeman effect. But in case of electric field, it is called our Stark effect. Okay, it's not Tony Stark, it's another Stark. Okay, so here the ratio of area covered by the second orbit to first orbit. So what we are going to apply here, we are going to apply here the radius formula we have learned. Okay, so let's apply that. That is r is equal to 52.9 into n square by z. So r is directly proportional to n square by z here. So z is same because it is of the same atom, but here n is getting changed. So what will be it? So r2 by r1 equal to our n2 square by n1 square, right? So it will be 2 square by 1 square, so it will be 4 by 1. But what will be the area, right? So it's circular orbit, so we will just apply the formula for area of the circle, that is pi r2 square by pi r1 square. So pi will be cut, it will be r2 square by r1 square, that will be 16 by 1. So it's the answer for question number 12. Now in question number 13, they have given you 5 orbitals, and they have asked you which of them is not possible. So we're going to apply the quantum numbers principles here. What will be the principles? That is, we can see that n equal to 3. So L can be 0 because L's value can be here 0, 1, 2, right? So M can also be here from, if we just take the most maximum value, so that will be -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, not other than this, then plus half and minus up, so it is plus up, so it is correct, so it is possible, right? But here we will see what is the L. So here you can see n has value 2, L has value 2, but can that be happening? Because we know that L will be from anything to 0 to n minus 1, so it will never be 2, right? So it's wrong, so it can't happen. So let's see for the next question, next options, that is 4. So here it can be, because it is n minus 1, so 3 can be possible. So here -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So -2 can is possible. It is minus up to this. C is also possible. But in case of D, let's see, that is 1, n. L is also possible because n minus 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0, it is possible. But here you can see that M is -1. Can it be happening? It can't be happening. So this D is also not possible. So let's see for E. Here E has n equal to 3. So n minus 1, that is 2, can be possible. But you can see here that it also has magnetic quantum number, that is 3. It won't happen because it will be -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, not greater than 2. So it is also not possible. So B, D, and E are not possible. So what will be the answer? That will be B, D, and E, right? So let's see question number 14. We'll see what they ask, that is the orbital angular momentum for p orbital. Now there is a formula for orbital angular momentum, that is orbital angular momentum. I am writing in short form, that is L into root over of L into L plus 1, and outside of this root, that is h by 2 pi. So here for p, we know the value of L is 1, so it will be 1 into 1 plus 1 h by 2 pi. So it will be our root over of 2 into h by 2 pi. Just let it remain in this form, because they can give you this h by 2 pi form like this also. Okay, so don't get confused. Then they have asked you what is the de Broglie wavelength of an electron accelerated through a potential V in volt. Okay, here we have a simple formula that we have calculated, and just we have to put it here. No need to go for the derivation or calculation, because we have to do the questions in the need in minimal time. Okay, so in nanometer, if we just want to conclude the value of wavelength, so that will be our lambda equal to 1.227 by root over of V. Okay, so it is this formula where V is our potential that is given here. Okay, so for the next question, they have given you the radius of Cu of the nucleus, or they want to know it, and they have give you some value of R naught. It is 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 5. Now we have a formula for this, that is RCu, or R can be any atoms. Okay, if R naught is given, the formula is R naught into a to the power 1/3. We all know what is A. A is our mass number. So what will be the RCu's value if we put the given values here? That is 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 5 into 64 to the power 1/3. That is its cubic root. Okay, so it will come 4. So what will be it? It will be 4.8 into 10 to the power minus 5, okay, meter. So that will be the radius of CU. So question number 16 is also done. Let's see question number 17. Now a nucleus has Z equal to 92 value, but you can see that they have rays passed through them. So what will be the, what are they? That is alpha, beta minus, like this, beta minus alpha alpha. So that will be the sequence. So here we have to know to conclude this answer, that is for alpha, if a alpha is there, your wave is passed, that is it always takes 2 protons from it, okay, so it will be minus 2. For beta minus, it doesn't take, it gives 1 plus 1, and for beta plus it will be our minus 1, okay. So here we can see that we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 alpha. So 8 into minus 2 will be minus 16. Here for beta minus, 1 beta minus, 2 beta minus, 3 beta minus, 4 beta minus. So we have 4 beta minus here. So that will be 4 into plus 1, that will be our 4. And for beta plus, we have 1 beta plus, 2 beta plus. Okay. So 2 beta plus. So its value will be 2 into minus 1. So minus 2. So what will be the Z resultant? Right. It will be 92 minus 16 plus 4 minus 2. Right. So the value will be 78. So let's see the question number 18. In question number 18, they have said that light of wavelength this 0.6 micrometer. Okay. It's sodium lamp falls on a photocell and causes emission of photoelectrons, for which the stopping potential is this. So with light of wavelength 0.5 micrometer, stopping potential is 1.5 volt. With this data, that will be the value of H by E. We also have a formula for H by E. If 2 wavelengths and 2 potentials is given, so that is H by E equal to lambda 1 into lambda 2 into V1 minus V2 by C into lambda 2 minus lambda 1. So if we just put the values here, C we all know that is 3 into 10 to the power 8, and all the values are given here, right? So what, let's put them into 0.4 into 1.5 minus 0.5 by 0.6 minus 0.4 into 3 into 10 to the power 8. So if we calculate this, the value will be 4 into 10 to the power minus 15 volt second. Okay. An electron has gone from minus 0.85 to minus 3.4 electron volt in energy state. What is the number of spectral lines produced? So here we will remember a diagram for our lifetime, because if you can't remember it, we will face many problems in it, because you have to just do it in minimal time. I have said it previously. So just let's see the diagram. So here what we are doing, that is I want to write the energy states of this n1 equal to 2, n1 equal to 3, n1 equal to 3 equal to 4. So for the first, we have energy minus 13.c electron volt, then E2 equal to minus 3.4, then E3 equal to minus 1.51, and E4 equal to our minus 0.85. Okay. So they have said that the electron has gone from minus 0.85 to minus 3.5. That means it has gone from n equal to 4 to n equal to 2, right? Now if we just remember this values and this diagram, we can just easily conclude it from where to where it has gone. So after concluding it, we have a formula for number of spectral lines, that is n2 minus n1 into n2 minus n1 plus 1 by 2. So what will be? That is 4 minus 2 by 4 minus 2 plus 1 by 2. So 2 2 will be cut. So what will remain? That is our 4 minus 2 2 plus 1, that is 3. So 3 will be the number of spectral lines here. That's how we conclude it. Now let's see the question number 20. In question number 20, what have they said? That there are two transition we can see here. So one's energy is 7 by 3, one's energy is 4 by 3, and in 1 equal to 1 is E, and here its wavelength is lambda 1, its wavelength is lambda 2. So in this diagram, what is the value of this lambda 1 by lambda 2? Now let's see how we will do it. For the first case, that is our lambda 1, what we are seeing, that is 4E minus E, that is its energy transition we are writing here. Okay, that will be Hc by lambda 1. And for the second energy transition, what we are seeing, that is 7 by 3 minus E equal to Hc by lambda 2. So we just have to put their values here. So from it, what we can conclude for the value of this lambda 1, that is Hc by 3, and for this lambda 2, it will be our 3Hc by what? 4E. So lambda 1 by lambda 2, what will be it? That will be our 4 by 9. So atomic structures questions are done.